It seems hard to believe, but we're almost at the end of another school year. For our P7s, this has been their last year of primary school. And for some of our teenagers, these have been their last school days ever. It's all about to change. Now, when we're facing a time of change, like moving to a new school or leaving school, it is perfectly normal to feel loads of emotions all at once. You may be feeling a little sad as you come to the end of your time in primary school. There may be lots of things about your school that you will miss. Maybe you are excited by the idea of moving to a new school. There are lots of exciting opportunities ahead of you, so do make the most of them. As you think about moving up to your new school, or as some teens prepare to enter the workplace or go to uni or into further education, maybe you're also feeling a little bit scared. P7s are the oldest and the biggest in the school, but when you transfer, you will be the smallest. But remember that if you do get lost or you have any other problems, the teachers and the prefects are there to help you, just as they always have been. Now, in the Bible, we read about Joshua. For many years, Joshua had been the assistant of the great leader Moses as he led the Israelites. And with Moses as their leader, God had rescued his people from being slaves in Egypt. God had led them across the Red Sea and provided food for them in the desert. But now Moses had died, and it was time for Joshua to lead the people into the land that God had promised. As Joshua prepared to lead the people of Israel into the promised land without Moses, he was probably feeling a little bit sad to be moving on without his friend by his side. Maybe you feel like that. Joshua was probably also feeling very excited. Some years earlier, he was one of the 12 spies that Moses had sent into the promised land to see what it was really like. He had seen the rich pasture land. He had tasted the milk and the honey. He had seen the huge clusters of grapes. Compared to living in the desert, this new land was going to be a dream. However, Joshua was probably feeling a little scared too. While he had been in the promised land, he and the other spies had seen how much bigger the people who lived there were than them. They had seen how big and strong their cities were. It would not be easy to march in and take over their land. So, just like those of you getting ready for a big change, Joshua was probably feeling sad, excited and scared all at the same time. And if this is how you're feeling, I suspect that what God said to Joshua might just be what he would want to say to you right now too. In Joshua chapter 1 and verse 9, we read this, where God says to Joshua, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." God told Joshua to be strong and courageous. And the reason God told Joshua to be strong and courageous was because he had promised to be with him. This meant that Joshua had no need to be terrified of what lay ahead of him in this new land. And he had no need to be discouraged either. God would be with him just as he had been with Moses. He would show him the way to go. He would give him the strength and the courage and the bravery he needed when things were tough. He would protect him and keep him safe. So Joshua made up his mind to do what God had said. He trusted God to help him lead the people of Israel into the promised land. And as they settled there, they found that it was just as good as God had said it would be, and that when things were tough, they found that God was with them just as he had promised. Christians believe that God is still the same today as he ever has been. Whatever else may change, God does not. If we choose to live as his friends, we can be sure that he will be with us too, just as he was with Joshua long ago. Now, if you're in P7, Ballydown have bought a gift for you. It's a book full of advice and stories about the big move to post-primary school, so make sure you pick up your copy and read it before September. We will be praying for you.